Let's get straight to the point. You can literally rewire your brain to crave studying with the same intense drive it currently directs toward endless social media scrolling. This isn't about willpower or motivation. It's about understanding and exploiting your brain's fundamental operating system. First, we must dissect the core mechanism of distraction. Why is it effortless to lose 3 hours to a screen, yet agonizingly difficult to focus on a textbook for just 15 minutes? The answer is dopamine, but its common definition is misleading. Dopamine is not the chemical of pleasure itself. It is the chemical of seeking, motivation, and anticipation. It drives you toward potential rewards. Your brain is an ancient, highly efficient machine, constantly surveying the environment for the highest available source of stimulation. It operates like a heat-seeking missile, always locking onto the easiest, fastest, and most potent reward available. Social media platforms are engineered to deliver a concentrated, overwhelming feast of dopamine. Every swipe, every refresh, every notification is a potential reward delivered on a variable ratio schedule. This is the most addictive reinforcement schedule known to behavioral psychology. It is the same mechanism that drives gambling addiction. The reward is unpredictable in timing but guaranteed in frequency, requiring zero sustained effort. Your brain is receiving a constant flood of novelty and stimulation, resulting in a powerful high-potency hit of seeking fuel. Now consider studying. Textbooks, lectures, and long-term projects require sustained effort and offer only delayed gratification. The reward, a good grade, mastery of a concept, career success, is distant and uncertain. Compared to the instant, guaranteed hit from your phone, studying registers on the brain's current reward scale as functionally zero. The challenge is not that studying is inherently boring, but that it is profoundly boring relative to the artificial superstimulus it is forced to compete against. This leads us to the definitive, two-part protocol grounded in neuroplasticity, the proven ability of the brain to physically change its structure and function based on experience. We must address both sides of the equation simultaneously. Part 1. You must reset your dopamine baseline. Chronic exposure to hyperstimulation forces your brain to adapt. In a protective process known as receptor downregulation, the brain physically reduces the number or sensitivity of its dopamine receptors. This is an attempt to normalize the chemical environment. The consequence for you is a tolerance. Only the most intensely stimulating activities, the viral videos, the shocking headlines, can trigger a noticeable response. Everything else, including focused work, feels flat and unengaging. To reverse this, we must initiate a practical mini-dopamine detox. This is not about asceticism. It is about deliberate daily recalibration. Dedicate a minimum of 15 minutes each day to complete intentional boredom. During this time, there is no phone, no music, no television, no reading, and no planning. Simply sit, stare at a wall, or take a short walk without headphones. Allow your mind to wander and settle without external input. When you first attempt this, it will feel intensely uncomfortable. Your brain, accustomed to its constant feed, will scream for stimulation. This agitation is a measurable sign of withdrawal. This is how you know the process is working. You are temporarily starving the seeking mechanism, forcing the receptors to become sensitive again. To enhance this process, implement environmental control. Make immediate access to high dopamine activities difficult. Place your phone in another room or inside a locked box during designated work hours. The slight friction required to access the stimulus introduces a crucial moment of conscious choice, allowing your prefrontal cortex to override the immediate impulse of the seeking system. After a consistent week of these daily practices, a measurable shift occurs. Your dopamine baseline begins to lower. Your brain is resensitized and it begins to find simple, natural activities like reading a book, observing your surroundings, or engaging in a focused conversation engaging again. The world becomes less dull because the internal threshold for reward has been lowered. However, a lower baseline only makes studying tolerable. It does not make it addictive. This is the critical failure point of most productivity advice. To truly hack your brain, you must move to Part 2. Part 2, systematically engineer studying to deliver more dopamine. We must actively increase the immediate reward value of the learning process itself, making it competitive with scrolling. This requires reframing and restructuring the work. First, implement micro-completion loops. Your brain loves finishing things. Break your study material into the smallest possible clearly defined chunks, a single page, 3 paragraphs, or 1 chapter subsection. After completing each micro-chunk, create a powerful instant feedback signal. This could be a physical checkmark, a brightly colored sticker, or a small, immediate non-digital reward. This simple act of completion triggers a reinforcing release of dopamine, associating the act of studying with a positive outcome. Next, adopt the Pomodoro technique, but understand its neuroscientific benefit. The 25-minute focused interval followed by a 5-minute break works because the brain responds positively to finite challenges. By framing the work as a short, intense sprint, you lower the perceived cognitive load and make the reward, the break, predictable and guaranteed. The anticipation of the 5-minute break acts as the seeking fuel, driving focus during the 25 minutes. To maximize the dopamine from learning itself, engage in active recall and teaching. Instead of passively rereading, force yourself to retrieve information. Explain concepts aloud as if teaching a skeptical student. The moment you successfully articulate a complex idea, your brain releases a surge of dopamine linked to mastery and competence. This is a powerful intrinsic reward that reinforces the learning loop more effectively than any external grade. Introduce multimodal encoding through physical, colorful note-taking. The physical act of writing by hand, combined with the visual variety of multiple colors and diagrams, stimulates various neural pathways simultaneously. This engagement prevents the mind from wandering and increases the density of the information stored, making the learning process itself more stimulating and less monotonous. Furthermore, consciously build bridges between new information and your existing interests. If you are learning history, connect the political events to the dynamics of modern social media platforms. If you are learning chemistry, relate the concepts to the food you cook or the products you use daily. You are not just memorizing facts, you are building a personal, interconnected knowledge network. The brain rewards the formation of new, meaningful connections with dopamine. The ultimate hack is the shift from obligation to intentional curiosity. When you approach your material with a genuine desire to understand how the world works, rather than a dread of passing an exam, your entire experience transforms. You are feeding the brain's deepest, most fundamental hunger, the drive for comprehension and growth. This intrinsic reward is far more sustainable than any external motivation. To maintain this change long-term, you must manage your cognitive load and prevent burnout, which can crash the system. Implement habit stacking by linking a new study ritual to an established routine. For example, after I finish brushing my teeth, I will immediately review my flashcards for 5 minutes. This leverages the momentum of an existing habit to launch the desired new behavior, minimizing the effort required to start. Also, track your micro-wins consistently. Maintain a simple journal or list of concepts you have mastered and problems you have solved. Reviewing this list provides powerful evidence of your progress, reinforcing the identity shift from someone who struggles to focus to someone who is focused and competent. This positive feedback loop is essential for sustaining the engineered Crave. This transformation is not theoretical. Individuals who systematically apply these neuroplasticity protocols begin to reach for their books over their phones during moments of downtime, not because they possess extraordinary willpower, but because they have successfully rewired their neural pathways to associate studying with guaranteed, predictable, and satisfying dopamine rewards. Studying becomes the path of least resistance to the reward center. Your brain is not faulty or broken. Its ancient reward system has simply been temporarily hijacked by a modern environment of unprecedented hyperstimulation. By understanding the mechanisms of dopamine downregulation and implementing a structured 2-part protocol, resetting the baseline and engineering the reward, you gain the power to take command of your focus and, by extension, your future. Begin today with a single, manageable step. Commit to that 15-minute session of intentional boredom. Tomorrow, structure your study time into your first 25-minute focused interval ensuring you give yourself a small, non-digital reward upon completion. Within 2 weeks of consistency, you will detect a measurable shift in your cognitive engagement. Within a month, you may genuinely find yourself looking forward to the challenge and reward of your study sessions. Take back control of your dopamine, and you take back control of your future. If this science-backed protocol was helpful, subscribe for more strategies that turn complex neurochemistry into actionable systems for self-mastery. Let us know in the comments which technique you will implement first to start engineering your study career.